Hello, everyone, and welcome back, North Avenue Nation, covering some breaking news coming out of MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred. Kevin Walsh and Mike Demerge is going to be giving you this update. He is now saying that the NHL might be ready to adopt the designated hitter in 2017. This very well could be the last full MLB season where we have an NL with the pitchers batting. Mike, you've always been covering the game of baseball for a long time. What is your thoughts on this?
Initially, I do think that you should need to go either way. You either need to be full DH or no DH. I find it hard to believe that, first off, getting it by the true National League fans is going to be hard, but the true National League players and executives, they don't want it. They like the difference that they're not the American League. They like the fact that they're not the junior circuit. They like the fact that it's more traditional. So I think this is going to be a real hard sell to really push this through and get all the votes.
Yeah, I think there's obviously, there's a reason why this hasn't come through yet, and it's because the National League kind of likes the way it is. But it does always kind of make you wonder on how one can play by one rules and the other cannot. I mean, at the end of the day, they're fighting for the same trophy. For one to have the DH and for the pitchers to not have to worry about having to go hit, that's a luxury for them. But also, too, sometimes when you think about strikeout records, it does kind of benefit the National League pitchers because they're almost getting a strikeout every 9 at-bats at minimum because these pitchers just can't hit.
Well, exactly. It's an advantage that the pitchers can't hit, so the National League guys are going to have better records. So when you look back historically, they're going to have better records. If you look at it from a fantasy perspective, they're going to have better records. So a guy's numbers are not true when compared to the American League. And the American League guys, when you look back at his years, say Catfish Hunter and Tom Seaver. Catfish Hunter pitched in the American League his whole life. Tom Seaver spent the most of his life in the National League, while Hunter was in the American League with the A's and the Yankees. So Hunter's lifetime ERA is a lot higher than Tom Seaver's, but what if Catfish would have pitched in the American League? I mean, by you taking out, usual pitcher usually gets maybe 2 to 3 at-bats a game, say 3.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at that. That's like having an automatic 3 outs. I know people say, oh, wait, the Mets hitters this year were really good. But for the most part, it's like an automatic out you're giving them. So instead of playing with 27 outs, pitchers are only really playing with 24 outs.
And the thing I wonder is how the fans will react, because I think there are some who get very, very frustrated by it, and they think that it's ridiculous. They're constantly seeing their pitchers go up there, and it's an out. I mean, you can get in a situation where, it's early in the game, but you might have runners on second and third, 2 outs, and what are you going to do? I mean, they're obviously going to go right after the pitcher, and it can kill a rally. But there might be some who do enjoy it.
It takes away from the strategy, though. We've seen in years past now managers putting the pitcher batting 8th and bringing a regular hitter in the 9th hole. Mm-hmm. So it certainly takes away from the strategy. Over the years, I don't like the DH because you're telling me that this ball player is one-dimensional. He's not a true ball player. And believe me, we've had some great DHs. Edgar Martinez belongs in the Hall of Fame. To me, David Ortiz, steroids or not, he has Hall of Fame numbers. Mm-hmm. You look at guys like that. So it really affects history as you look at as a whole. And I think you really need to go either way. And it affects the games, the game strategy. You've seen with Joe Torre, he brought the National League style over to the Yankees in the 90s, and how well that worked. And when Don Mattingly went to the National League, he had to do a double switch. He really didn't know what was going on. We've seen the numbers go down now in baseball over the last couple of years now that PEDs are out of the game as far as we know it. Amphetamines, for the most part, out of the game. We've seen the numbers go down. So if we did, the American League went to the fact that they got rid of the DH. If that ever happens, I don't know if baseball from a marketing perspective wants this, and I think this is what it's about. We've seen the numbers go down. We've seen some real low-scoring games. Bottom line, chicks dig the long ball. That was a slogan with McGwire and Sosa in the 90s. Heather Locklear did a commercial with McGwire, chicks dig the long ball. You need the attention, and baseball is fighting for numbers. And we've seen runs go down, and that's a big concern in baseball.
And I think it's a great point. You think about, everyone makes fun of the NFL and they call it the no fun league, but the views are crazy. And you think about the MLB, and it's, to me, the one league that really tries to make every single thing they do very, very serious and very competitive. Outside of the home run derby, which is just a complete show, and that's how it should be, but even the All-Star game it's very serious. It means something. World
Right.
Series, home field advantage, but there is a fun thing of, in the AL, David Ortiz's career would have been done a long time ago. And also, there are some people who find it funny when Bartolo Colon gets to bat or when their favorite American League pitchers are forced to go up there and hit. But the
And we saw
real,
with the Mets this year, a lot of their players doing well. Pitchers are good athletes, and they can hit, but you got to train them. It's. I really think it has to be one way or the other. It's ridiculous. You have two leagues and two different sets of rules.
I think that's what they're getting at, and I think that's why we're seeing the change. But we'll give you all the updates right here on North Avenue Nation.